Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back. Gamescom is now in the rearview mirror, and you know what? I thought it was a fun overall event. No, I don't think that there was anything earth-shattering there per se, but at the same time, I don't really think that that was the expectations this year. Jeff Keighley let us know well ahead of time that this was mostly about updates for upcoming already known games, and that's exactly what we got at this event. Now, there was still a few cool surprises, which we're going to go over today, and we'll also go over Xbox once again shutting down one of the most ridiculous talking points of the entire year. I mean, absolutely absurd. Also, even though PlayStation was quiet at Gamescom, they did break news after the showcase because now we got some more concrete details for that PlayStation 5 handheld. So we're going to get into both of those today on News Dose. Let's go kick things off, though, with Persona 3 Reload. I know a lot of people are really excited about this one, and really for good reason. And they did drop a new trailer today, which, I mean, it looks the part. If you're coming from Persona 5, then you're going to feel right at home with Persona 3 Reload because they're once again going with that stylish vibe and art style. Even the battle transition animation has that stylish cut to it. And with Persona 5 being the first Persona for a lot of people, I think they're going to be pretty happy with the new visuals for Persona 3 here. For that matter, I mean, old-time fans as well because it looks absolutely excellent. I myself have already actually played the original, and I can tell you this right now. It is a good game. Some will actually even argue that it's even better than Persona 5, so I'm really excited to see the growing Persona community get a chance to play this game, including on multiple platforms for the first time. That is a big part of this release. It is coming over to Xbox and PC alongside PlayStation. Atlas finally grew a brain and is making Persona multi-platform. But a big part of this news comes in two ways. Persona 3 Reload is now officially slated to release on February 2nd of 2024, so go and mark your calendars. And its price tag, which this might be a little surprising to some, it is set for $70. Now, it is also coming over to Game Pass day one as well, so do keep that in mind. You have to love it. But yeah, Atlas and Persona are just the latest to move over to that $70 price tag. I'm curious to see what you all think about that, so let me know in the comments below. Now, we also got some new details for the PlayStation Project Q, their handheld remote play console. It does now have an official name dubbed the PlayStation Portal, and it will retail for $199. Now, I actually think that the price here isn't too bad. I think that that sounds about right. The hope here was always for it to be at that $200 price tag or below, and you know, they did very much achieve that goal. The problem here, though, still kind of remains. Even at that $200 price tag, is it actually enticing enough? And that's definitely up for debate. So the PlayStation Portal does have an 8-inch LCD display. It feels like a lot of these newer handhelds are starting to go over to that 8-inch screen, which I think in this situation does make perfect sense just because this device is really meant to stay in your household. It's not meant to just travel everywhere with you. The PlayStation Portal doesn't play games locally, but rather you need to connect to your PS5 via Wi-Fi where you can play select games that are supported up to 1080p at 60 frames per second. Interestingly enough, though, there won't be cloud support. So if you are a PlayStation Plus premium subscriber, you're not going to be able to play PlayStation 5 cloud games through the PlayStation Portal. I mean, this makes sense to a degree, but it's kind of making an already niche device even more niche by not making use of the cloud as well, especially considering PlayStation just launched their 4K cloud beta. You would think that they'd want to take advantage of that, but apparently not. It also won't have Bluetooth, so if you want to connect a headset, you will have to purchase one of their new PlayStation Link compatible headsets. They claim that this new innovation delivers low latency, lossless audio, and easy switching between multiple PlayStation Link hosts such as the PlayStation 5 with the USB adapter and PlayStation Portal. Now, if you do want one of these headsets, though, you have two different options. The over-the-ear headphones, the Pulse Elite, which will run you $150, or you can get their new wireless earbuds, the Pulse Explorer, which goes for $200. So, I mean, the price can climb pretty rapidly here, but I mean, again, I will say this. The price for the PlayStation Portal itself, I think seems about right for the technology. For myself, I just kind of wonder how much of an audience this thing actually will have. It's really the same issue that we've seen with cloud-only devices. You can already stream games to your phone, so is a dedicated cloud-based device actually worth it? Or in this case, a remote play device. That's even less dynamic, so it'll certainly be interesting to follow when it launches later this year. For myself, though, I'm really just kind of curious to see if it'll have overall better latency with the PlayStation Portal compared to other devices. I think that its overall impressions in comparison to what we already have on the market might be the make it or break it thing that really sells the PlayStation Portal. Next up, let's go and talk about Gamescom's opening night live showcase. Jeff Keighley promised exciting updates for already announced games, and that's exactly what he delivered. Though, right away, one of the most ridiculous topics of the year was utterly destroyed, and that is in regard to Starfield's marketing. As many of you all are probably aware, a big talking point over the last month has been all about Starfield. And where is it? Why is it not at Gamescom? Is this a concern? And yada, yada, yada. It's been absurd discourse all along, but amusingly, the game that opened the showcase was none other than Starfield itself. They had a beautiful composition and then kicked things off with a new live action trailer. Todd Howard even came out on stage, which, he's never done that at Gamescom before, and he announced that they have a theater set up at Gamescom where they're revealing its entire first mission, which includes its character creation. So Starfield, in fact, yes, showed up in a big way at Gamescom, which is the largest in-person game event of the year. So, it's just kind of ironic after all the discourse that we've seen online. And, truthfully, I've never seen a game have so much discourse before its official release. Like, people are absolutely losing their mind over this game, and they're trying to create some kind of drama where there is none. These same people who are making up topics like this, you have to kind of wonder, why are they not asking about Sony not showing up at Gamescom? Is that somehow a concern as well? No, of course not, because this was never an issue in the first place. Again, people need to grow up. We've talked about this before, but hey, it's only one more week before a lot of players get their hands on Starfield. I'm personally very excited myself, and we'll see if it lives up to that hype or not. Now, I think one of the most surprising announcements of the night, though, was Little Nightmares 3. Now, we knew that Bandai Namco would need a different studio as Tarsier was acquired by Embracer Group, but Bandai, they truly believe that this is a staple franchise for them, and they moved it over to Supermassive Games, which is quite an interesting choice here. They're most known for horror games like Until Dawn. They've grown a pretty decent-sized fan base over the years, and hopefully that will continue with Little Nightmares 3. It's a tough act to follow with their first two games being so beloved by so many, but I will say this much. The new trailer, I think it looks really good. If you told me Tarsier made this game, I would have probably believed you, and to me, that's a pretty good compliment here. Either which way, though, it is set for an unknown 2024 release, and then we can continue on with the Little Nightmares franchise. Speaking of release dates, though, we got a few updates here. Sonic Superstars had a new trailer here, which, by the way, this game continues to look absolutely amazing, but I really don't like its release date. Those leaks, indeed, were true. It is set for October 17th. But I really have to ask myself, why? Why just release mere days before Mario Wonder? This isn't the old Mario vs. Sonic rivalry. There's just really no need to release it so close to a game that might overshadow it. And for that matter, there's so many huge games set for October this year. By the end of the Gamescom showcase, my biggest takeaway was that publishers just kind of forgot that November and December exist. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, but again, Sonic Superstars, it does look legit. Now, for you Sonic fans, though, Frontiers is also getting its new free DLC this September titled The Final Horizon. This will include more playable characters, Knuckles, Tails, and Amy, all of which was previously hinted at. And then with a new twist, Sonic goes one stage above Supersonic. I guess Dragon Ball Z style here, but the fact that all of this is free is really cool to see. I really enjoyed Frontiers personally, and immediately it became one of my favorite 3D Sonic games. Speaking of those October releases, though, Diablo 4 Season of Blood will also release on the exact same day, October 17th. The season will be free, which is nice to see. Diablo 4 had a very successful launch, and it really met those early expectations, but then it kind of took a step back with some of the community. A lot of people didn't like its balanced paths, but Season of Blood being free has a real opportunity to bring a lot of those players back, plus plenty more. Wukong also showed up as expected, and while I think that it continues to look quite impressive, they still haven't announced its release window. I thought that was a little disappointing here. I mean, we've already seen a lot of its gameplay. I don't think that that's really what we need to see by this point, or by itself is what I mean here. I think by this point, what we want to see is a more specific release window. When is it actually expected? And unfortunately, we still don't know. Now, hopefully, it will still release in 2024, but I mean, I guess we'll see. Tekken 8 is another big game to get its release date as well. It's now set for January 26th of 2024, and I mean, the FGC is absolutely feasting right now. I mean, technically, this didn't all happen in the exact same year, but if you think about it, Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat 1, the big Killer Instinct update, and Tekken 8 are all happening in like a 7-month period. That is absolutely crazy. So just fun times for the FGC, which includes Mortal Kombat 1, which also had a crazy good gameplay reveal at Gamescom. Man, that game is looking insane. Age of Empires 4 is another game that showed up, but this one actually got a shadow launch for Xbox consoles. Xbox, they showed up this year in a big way, not with just Starfield, but also with Age of Empires 4, which can be played on Xbox Game Pass on consoles right now. I know a lot of fans have been waiting for that news, so there you go. And to see it get a shadow launch, I'll just say this much. The month of August has been a lot of fun for Xbox Game Pass subscribers with some of these shadow launches. First, you had Quake 2, and now also this. You just have to love it. They actually also revealed some other Game Pass games, including Payday 3. It got a big gameplay reveal here, and that will actually be out next month, which, I mean, if you look at Game Pass in the month of September, it has a crazy good lineup. Starfield, Payday 3, and Lies of P all in one single month. Yeah. Have fun keeping up. They did also give us our first look at their new first-party game, Ara History Untold. This is their new turn-based strategy game where you build a nation and lead people throughout history to the pinnacles of human achievement as you explore new lands, develop arts and cultures, etc., etc. I think fans of this genre might be interested in this game, and it is now set to release on PC and PC Game Pass sometime in 2024. Another exciting release date here, though, was Granblue Fantasy Relink. I feel like we've been hearing about this game forever, but it is now officially set for February 1st of 2024. It is a PlayStation console exclusive, with it coming over to PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5, and PC. It also looks really good. I mean, I'd say that this is automatically one of the better looking JRPGs set for 2024, but I mean, there's gonna be some competition here. As I mentioned earlier, Persona 3 is also coming out one day later on February 2nd. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of these two games move the release date just a little bit. Having two big JRPGs one day apart might not necessarily be the best idea. Now, we'll see if they stick with that February 2nd release date, or in this case, February 1st. But again, I do like what I'm seeing with Granblue Fantasy. I think it looks really good. I'm going to have to keep my eye on this one. Cyberpunk 2077 also made an appearance with its Phantom Liberty DLC, and its expansion offers quite a bit of new stuff here. It will have a new district to explore. It has vehicular combat, which is pretty cool to see. It has dozens of new story quests, a revamped police system. They overhauled the combat AI. It has endless dynamic missions, redesigned cyberware and perks, an all-new relic skill tree, an increased level cap, and it also has 100 new items, which includes things like new weapons. So hey, if you're looking for a reason to jump back into the world of Cyberpunk, its expansion does sound quite extensive, and it will be out next month on September 26th. As an added bonus here, they also announced that a lot of the content that they revealed here will come to the base game on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One via an update for free. Now, one game that I think surprised a lot of people was Crimson Desert. This is the new open-world RPG from Pearl Abyss, and I mean, this game looks insanely ambitious. There's a lot happening in this trailer, from intense medieval combat to catapulting yourself over a wall. There's skydiving, there's horseback riding, and just everything combined makes this game incredibly ambitious. And I mean, if anything else, the trailer itself looks amazing. But because there's so much happening here, and because the visuals look pretty nice, I've seen a lot of people take the I'll wait and see approach. Like, it looks so good, some people are having a hard time believing that Pearl Abyss can actually meet those expectations. I mean, we'll kind of see what happens here. It doesn't have a release date just yet, but we'll go ahead and keep an eye on this one. The last game that I want to talk about here, though, is Alan Wake 2. As some of you all might know, I am very, very excited to continue the saga of Alan Wake. I loved the first game, and this was the game that I was really wanting to see at Gamescom, but it's become evident that Remedy is trying to keep as much of this game under wraps as they possibly can, that way not to spoil anything. I mean, I can respect that. I'm not one of those people that are making a big fuss over marketing, but they did reveal its seamless live-action cinematics. I'm actually not quite entirely sure how to feel about that one just yet. I'm going to have to see that myself, because live-action to me sometimes feels a little strange in video games. But, I mean, at the same time, to be fair, they did a pretty good job with Quantum Break, so they already have experience doing this type of thing, and I'm just crossing my fingers here that it'll be worth the wait. I mean, it's Remedy after all, so I'm expecting this to be another knockout game. Overall, though, that's the big announcements that I wanted to go over here, but per usual, I wanted to see your all's opinions. So I asked you all, what letter grade would you give Gamescom 2023? And the majority of you gave it a C, being 46%, then 31% of you gave it a B. So most of you all did lean towards this being an average to an above average showcase. And yeah, I mean, I can agree with you all on that one. I'd personally give it a B myself. The thing for me is that I think Jeff Keighley set expectations properly this year. He didn't overhype things, and I just thought it was a good, fun showcase. I thought it was paced pretty well, which is something that I've criticized him for in the past. And it was really just nice getting actual release dates here, even though every publisher seemingly fell in love with the month of October. We'll see if anybody moves out of that month, but okay. I mean, it is what it is, I guess, but kudos to Jeff Keighley. I thought that this was a good overall showcase, and seems like most of you will at least enjoyed it as well, and that's what I like to hear. Anyways, though, that's it for this episode, but if you liked the video, don't forget to bell notification and subscribe button for more content just like this. Also, if you'd like to support the channel through Patreon, thank you for making this content possible. Peace out.